Wow, this one's pretty heavy. We're going deep on the Syrian civil war today, and yeah, looking at all this is, well, it's unsettling.
Yeah.
It all started back in 2011, right?
Yeah.
With those protests, people wanting democracy. And look what happened. A brutal war. So many lives lost.
They were really tragic.
And before we even get into it, if you're with us on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss these deep dives. We go hard on this stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, they just dropped this report. Over 528,500 people dead. Imagine Phoenix, Arizona, gone. That's how many people we're talking about. And here's the thing, thousands of these deaths, they were just confirmed after Assad was finally overthrown, like late last year, 2024.
It's crazy to think about.
Makes you wonder how much higher that number could actually be, right?
Yeah, it's a sobering thought.
Okay, so let's dig into this. One thing that really hit me hard, going through this report, was the civilian casualties. Almost 3,600 in 2024 alone, women and children. What was it like for those civilians stuck in the middle of all this?
I mean, you can only imagine the constant fear, right? Just trying to survive, to find food and water, worrying about the next attack. And the trauma, losing family, friends, everything familiar, having to flee your home. These numbers, they're not just statistics, they represent real lives ripped apart.
It's hard to even fathom. And you mentioned Assad being overthrown last December. How has that changed, well, what we know about the death toll? Because I saw in the report they were able to confirm thousands more deaths now.
Exactly. With Assad gone, there's more access now. Places like the detention centers, the mass graves, they're finding evidence of things that were hidden for years. So yeah, the numbers we have now, they're likely still way too low.
It's unbelievable. The report, it talks about over 64,000 deaths in Assad's prisons. Torture, neglect, just the conditions themselves.
Yeah.
What does that say about his regime? If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know what you think in the comments. I mean, it shows the level of brutality, right? This wasn't just a few bad apples. It was systematic.
Yeah.
Human rights abuses happening all over. And that kind of cruelty, it just feeds the cycle of violence.
It's true. And what's crazy is the report shows the violence didn't end when Assad was gone. Over 6,700 people died in 2024, and over half of them civilians. It's like, even with the regime change, there was still so much fighting.
Of course, regime change doesn't automatically flip a switch and everything's peaceful. You often have power vacuums, instability, all these different groups, armed groups vying for control. It's chaos. And that leads to more violence, unfortunately, more civilian casualties. Yeah, it's wild. You think about all the players in this conflict. The Syrian military, Islamist groups, extremists. It's easy to get lost in it all. But at the end of the day, and this is what I hope you take away from this deep dive, what we can't forget is the human cost of this war. Over 500,000 lives lost, the brutality under Assad, and the fact that even now, the struggle for peace in Syria, it's still going on. Hit that like button, by the way, and subscribe to the channel. We've got more deep dives coming.
Definitely subscribe.
I think it's important for all of us, to think about what this all means, the human cost of this war, the future of that whole region. It's complicated, that's for sure. No easy answers.
That's for sure.
Thanks for being here with us today. We're going to keep exploring these tough topics, so make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you won't miss a single episode.
See you next time.